Welcome back to a new Anno 1800 series where we're looking at the new horizon mode. This opens a completely new region, Asia, as soon as you get to one investor. And we're really close because in the last episode, we have basically finished the engineers. See, they are getting all of the needs over here. They are getting all of the luxury or happiness goods too, including the gold watches or pocket watches and the penny farthing. And we've even started to give them lifestyle need, including chocolate and mezcal. And yes, I know mezcal is empty right now, but I guarantee you we have started the mezcal production on Manola over here on Neon Night for one of my new YouTube members. Thank you, Neon Night, for joining. So we have the production of mezcal over here. It's going to take a second for it to arrive to the old world. But yeah, so we've done all of this. And as I said, we're very, very close to be able to move to the investors and to move to new horizons. We've also started, electricity over here. All of these are boosted with electricity. We've built our steam shipyard, and here it is. This is the first cargo ship. These are faster than your old ones, and on top of this, they have 8 slots. So that's going to be really great for transport in the future. But before we move, further, I did want you to create a couple of the tourists. We do want to do this, and I was thinking also, let's just finish this quest there. I don't know why we didn't do it. So museum, zoo, we're going to want to do these ones. Now for the tourist, what you need to do is you need to upgrade your public mooring into a tourist mooring. Right? So it's going to cost us 10,000, quite a few resources, but it's not too bad. It's pretty easy to do at this point of the game. And now that we have this, tourists will flock to city. So this is going to be based, of course, on our attractiveness, but this is also going to open a completely new house, these hotels. So let's build a couple. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I think if you want to be able to do kind of the overall quest, you need, if I remember correctly, a small dozen, I think. Then later on you can have less, but I think at the beginning you need like a couple. So let's put a few. What's happening? What is I want to rotate? Sometimes there's some small bugs like this. But anyway, so we're gonna build a few. As you saw, it cost a lot of clay, and I'm not actually making a lot of clay on this island, so I'm gonna bring some clay. But more importantly, you can see this is pretty complex, where there is a lot of needs and also a lot of happiness stuff happening over here. But the basic thing is they're gonna want to be connected through bus stops to different things. For example, to the tourist mooring, to also a theater, to some restaurant, to a bar, to a zoo. Where is it? Over here, to a zoo, to a museum, etc. So we're gonna want to connect them with those bus stops, which cost 5 steel. So it is. We're gonna put a bus stop over here. Actually, I can put it there. Hopefully, yes. So we have a bus stop linked to that one, right? And now we need to obviously put a bus stop that is in range of all of these guys, right? That is how it works. So you can also potentially put 2. For example, I can put 1. Actually, I think I'm gonna reorganize a bit, and I'm gonna start, creating. Now the problem is that this bus stop, right, is way too far from the other bus stop, so they don't know how to go from here to there. So what we need to do is start creating different bus stops to connect, right? Basically, we need one somewhere over here. So we're gonna be very crude and just delete one house, put this, and it is. So now this bus stop is gonna be connected to that one, and that one is connected to this one. Yeah, not this one because there's no road, but definitely to that one, right? So that is great. Now they are connected, and these hotels, let me do this quickly so you can see it. Come on. This hotel over here, right, is getting the tourist mooring. And so with this, we're going to get a couple of tourists, and then in a few tourists, we'll unlock bread. So we're going to need more bread. Then we're going to need a theater, which means we need to make sure that we have, one of my bus stop in range of the theater, etc., etc. And there's quite a lot of things, right? Including we're going to be able to build the Iron Tower, which is basically the Eiffel Tower, thanks to this. So let me get a bit of resource, in particular some bricks, reorganize this a bit, and I'll see you in a minute. Here it is. We have our 8 hotel. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it's a good start. It's a good start. They're all connected through these bus stop, one on this side and one on that side. So they have access to the public mooring. They don't have perfect access to the variety theater, and they're missing tons of other stuff. So we're gonna need to check that out. But basically, if we look at their needs, okay, they're getting the tourist mooring. they're getting some bread and some variety theater, but you can see some, some problems over here. There's basically debuffs where, because we're not good enough on the happiness tab, these people are, not getting everything basically. So we need to try to fix those debuffs. We need to fix the debuff of the variety theater from the hotspot. So the hotspot are these ones here. The fact that we don't have a good zoo, we don't have, Dockland, etc., is basically decreasing my variety theater happiness. And then second is because my attractiveness is pretty low. I mean, let's be honest, it's not even at 250, which is really, really not that great. So that is giving a 10% debuff on all of those production. But we do have unlocked a lot of things. We've unlocked the restaurant, we've unlocked cafe, as well as a jam. So let's get started on some of these. I think we're going to start with the jam first. So let's go. The jam is easy. It's just one production, a bit like the citrus. We just need some space. Feels like over here, let's put one on this side and one on that side over here. That should totally be enough. Let's see if that's enough. Jam. Oh, it hasn't started yet because we're still planting the trees. So let's give it a second. But while this is happening, so we have the jam, then we have the shampoo. The shampoo is made in a completely new building, the chemical plant, where you have actually different formula. Right now, we've only unlocked the shampoo, but later there's a few others. This is going to require some soap, but also two new things from the new world, the coconut oil and the cinnamon. So I'm going to build that. I think we have enough of shampoo with one building. But as you can see, we're not good enough on jam, I need more, and also on soap. Now with this new production requiring soap, we're gonna need more. We also need to make sure we start increasing our attractiveness. So to do that, I did just put the scepter of Cap on the mission of the Cape Trelawney region. So the queen was very happy. She actually gave us a few things over here. Yeah, here it is. So she gave us the Admiral Nadaksky sabre, and she gave us the Nadaksky medal too, okay? Plus the Hogwarts the Arbor Master. So this one is going to increase the loading speed, plus is going to give us a duty chance. Every trade with another faction, we can get some duty basically. That's interesting. Not that we do a lot of trade, but still, let's just put it. Okay, so deliver all of this, put it over there. Okay, I think we also delivered a couple of other items. So we can then put them into, again, my museum. Let's go. Including, if possible, I think we're not far from having one full. Yeah, we're just missing the Imperial figurehead. If we can find that one, we would get, the Battle of Trelawney bonus. So that'd be great. Then on the zoo side, we have here a Chital. Yes, that's my goal. But to do that, she wants us to get 1,750 investors. So that's going to be in the next one. In the meantime, the last element over here is they also want access to restaurant and bar. So we can change the name, by the way. Love that, Le Cheval. But we have unlocked only one. In the future, we'll unlock some other ones. I'll explain how to do that later on. But for now, there's only one. So we don't really have a choice. Each of them, they also give some different bonuses. So that's pretty interesting. So for example, this one is going to give +3 of happiness to the houses that are in the range. I'll show you the range in a second. And it also decreases the consumption of bread, fish, and chocolate for those houses, again, that are in the range. So we're going to select it. To do it, you're going to need some pig, some potatoes, and some tallow. If I remember correctly, this is 1 per minute that it takes to make basically one of these. So the range, as I said, is the circle over here. So, you can decide to put it very close to your hotels, but actually this is not really how it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be is you're supposed to put it right in the middle of your city so that it covers as many, houses as possible, and potentially be smart, right? Like if we say, okay, this recipe is going to decrease bread, fish, and chocolate, and in particular fish and bread by a lot, then you probably want to use some houses that actually do have bread, right? Or houses that have fish and bread. So a restaurant over here actually feels like a great idea. I don't remember exactly the space that this thing takes, but let's break 4 and it should be fine. So we're going to move it all the way over here, like we said. We will need, though, one bus stop, right? Otherwise, nobody can go there. But now we have a bus stop. We have also a warehouse, or we need a warehouse to be precise. So that's done. That way, you know, they can start getting some pigs. We have some potatoes, we have some tallow. I may need to increase those production just now, but I just want to show you that this is going to start, you know, basically making this restaurant is gonna open, right? There's gonna be people that come into the restaurant. Here it is, love it, coming in and out, right? And they are in range of a bus stop, and therefore they're going to be able, you know, here it is. We see the restaurant is going up, giving us some more tourists and some coins. Now these restaurants, they actually don't take workforce, standard workforce. They take tourist workforce. Don't ask me why, but it's basically the way it works. So it's a new type of workforce, I guess is the point. Now we want to do also the same with the cafe over here. So that's going to be different recipes. In this case, we have this one here that's going to help with coffee, with chocolate, and with schnapps. So schnapps is a bit more kind of your lower people, but coffee and the chocolate is definitely your higher ones, right? So we're probably going to want to move that one somewhere over here for my, yeah, actually, I think that fits, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second. Oh, it doesn't fit unless I put this like this. Oof. I don't know, I don't love it. And if I put it there, it will fit over here. That way I only kill one more house. So now the quest you just saw appear, Nouvelle Cuisine Hors d'oeuvre. This is a quest to get some new recipes. So it says select a facility that produces fresh and healthy food for you. So you choose. So let's select, for example, the jam, right? That's fresh, no? Doesn't work? I think it did. I think it did. Disappeared. So this is to increase the grain, red pepper, etc. She wants us to get new recipes, basically. Okay. We also have a mission to get, need to raise zoo hotspots, right? So we need more animals so that the zoo gets enough attractiveness. And then at that point, right, we'll see it over here. It will be big enough. Here it is. The zoo, it will be good enough, right, to support my people. There's also the botanical garden. There's Dockland. There's so many things over here. We have a decision to make for recipes, and basically depending on what you decide, you'll unlock some different ones. So let's do this one, marinated meat, and depending also on, you know, do you have all of the DLCs or not, you will unlock different ones. And, you know, we started with this recipe there. Now we could change it, right, to a new one, or we can also have a second restaurant, right? There is no limit for that. This one, as you can see, is going to be very different. It's going to reduce the sausage and the canned food, for example, right? So, and it obviously also takes new things. It takes beef, takes red pepper, and corn. So keep that in mind. Keep that. Oh, they say we need to equip it to finish that mission. So we're going to do it just for the mission and then change it again. Oh no, they want us to actually do it. Damn. So I need some corn. We have red pepper and meat, but I do need some corn. Okay. So I'm going to bring some corn. I'm going to bring also two new things, cinnamon and coconut oil. I'm going to make sure we have enough jam and potentially bring a bit more animals or things over there. And I'll see you in a couple of minutes. And here it is, ladies and gents, our shampoo factory, our chemical plant is working. I've delivered a bit of coconut oil and cinnamon. It is in the new world on Manola as always. It's actually over here. You can see there is 2 of those coconuts and then there is 2 of those cinnamon. This is producing 4 or 6 because I boosted it to 50%, right? Yeah, I boosted it plus 50%. So it's producing 6, which is more than what I need. I think we need only 4. Here it is. Perfect. Perfect. Then, oh yes, we have a new mission. Basically the tourist, you know, we finished the production of goulash over here, right? And so then the next one was bring a ship over here to take the tourist. And then you need to bring the tourist to the ship over there. She's basically saying, you know, she met somebody there. So now we need to get her back. Oh, shame, the chef was no longer there. So bring her back now. Bit of a simple one. Then what else? I have built over here Dockland. Yeah, if you've seen my channel before, if you've seen many of my Anno 1800 series, you know that I don't like Dockland. I think this is way too, like it breaks the sort of Anno concept for me because we're going to be able to exchange resources. I do know that this has been revamped for this mode, right? So I think it is actually better where it makes more sense. We're going to have to dive into it. The main reason why I made it, to be honest, is because This is one of the good that they're looking for the hotspots. Right? There was the zoo, then there is the museum, and Dockland was over here. So, which is great because with that we brought the hotspot into positive. And I do see that my luxury now is going to negative because we just unlock apparently these souvenirs. So I need to build some souvenirs. But anyway, so over here, good. My zoo, my museum, and I've built also a botanical garden at the bottom over here. They're slowly but surely growing and providing, you know, more attractiveness. We've actually crossed the 1000 attractiveness over here. So yeah, my tourists are getting happier, let's say. We are giving them jam, we're giving them shampoo. There is a third one after the restaurant and the cafe. We now have also the bar. So I've just built it over here, but this is requiring again a lot of things from the new world. We have sugarcane and plantain on top of the run. So I created a new route over here. We have one, you know, for the cinnamon and the coconuts, and we have one that's bringing those things, the sugarcane and banana, and then the corn for the goulash, which is just below, right over here. So that's gonna come just now. And with this, honestly, we're making really great progress. The only last one we need is the Iron Tower, which requires 4000 tourists. So this is why I was saying, you know, I think at some point maybe we need a bit more of these just to unlock it. But we do have the foundation. We can start the foundation. Look over here. This is a mission from the Queen, and I think putting it just in front of the tourist obviously makes tons of sense. She's eager to see the Iron Tower completed. So let's see what is required now. 60 timber, 30 cement, 300 workforce of workers, and 30 minutes. So we can start it. I'm gonna need a bit of cement, so let me push it. Her Majesty will attend the inauguration, and she's going to require an hotel that, you know, has a view of the monument, obviously. She will also require a room furnished with an exceptional copy of a rare and exhilarating bit of reading. And she will have a duly vetted handmaid to help her. So these are the quests that we need to do, you know, also while we're ready for this. As I said, let's try to boost my limestone so that we get a bit of limestone. And yeah, we're gonna need to do this. The tourist should be here, right? Yeah, she's here. So let's deliver her. Done. And we get 50 shades of gravy. It's not 50 shades of grey, it's 50 shades of gravy. So that's the book that, you know, the Queen actually likes. We have potentially a new dessert. So we need to review the ingredients. We can choose if we want something that has a bit of a kick of rum, that has cinnamon, or some underground grain, right? So I'm gonna go with rum. I'm already bringing the rum anyway. So this is a new recipe. We have also, what is sugar? Surely we need some sugar. We have the eclair too. Two new recipes, the palmier biscuit and the eclair. And this is for this one there. And remember, you can also build multiple of these, right? You don't have to build just one. We can check the recipes quickly. So this is going to reduce sausage, coffee, and chocolate. And lastly, champagne, bread, and coffee. But it requires things bit more advanced. Here you have the chocolate is needed to reduce the chocolate. That's interesting. That's interesting. We need to deliver the holiday reading to the Queen. So I do need to take my ship there. Alright, take the book. Where is it? Here. And let's deliver it to the Queen. See if she likes it. What else? We're gonna want to do at some point Dockland. Then we saw that they wanted also one of the other goods. I need electricity. Or we add one more. I think the easier is just let's add one more on this line here, because that's already a lot of production. So we don't need to put it that close. Let's see if she likes the book. Is thrill. Ooh, excellent choice. So she's happy with that. Good, good. Then we're gonna want to push that one there. Okay, so that's providing electricity, and therefore let's build some souvenirs. Right, this is what they want to be happy over here. 4 of happiness and 1422 coins. Okay, that's a lot of coins. How many do we need? What, 15? Okay, well, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we definitely need that too, right? So I'm gonna need to boost my production of cinnamon and of coconut by a lot. Okay, it started. we have glass, we have cotton, and we have camphor wax. If we move to the new world, you can see I have actually 2 camphor wax over here, plus all of these guys here, right? They used to be something else, now they are moved on that camphor wax, because we need a lot, we need 16. And so what I've done is the gold island over here, where we had nothing else, this is where I've moved, you know, the orchard for coconut oil and for cinnamon over here. Right, so that one is dedicated for this, and yeah, over here we have, you know, the other ones. I did expand also more production of cotton. We have cotton over here, cotton over there. I see a problem there, made a mistake. I'll fix that in a second. But yeah, that's the production of cotton. This is actually an additional production of bamboo too, because that was one of the lifestyle need actually. Yeah, this is a lifestyle need. It hasn't arrived yet, but mezcal has arrived. So we're going to get a bit more of tourists with this. That's great. We have, as I said, you know, the production of shampoo that has started, no problem over here. We have the jam. We have all 3, the restaurant, the cafe, and the bar that are working. And the last one is just the Iron Tower, for which you need 4,000 tourists. So I may need again a couple more hotels. We are giving the fur coat and the souvenirs to be happy on this side, right? And we just need over here to continue pushing my attractiveness, right, to try to really get this debuff to go away. For this, you know, I'm pushing my zoo, my museum, botanical garden, trying to push them all because we can't unlock yet those other ones here. But that is great progress. For the Iron Tower, we have finished level 2. Level 3, we need to first finish the quest of the Queen. So we need to choose one of the 3. We have a sharply tongued maid. Okay, my friend will be so jealous, so she's gonna basically be telling everybody about the Queen. That's not great. Then we have over here a sharply dressed. I have the Queen looking proper and sensible with none of really nonsense. And then last but not least, we have the destitute maid. The Queen, oh my, of course, it would be an honor, but I expect she would rather or not get out, right? A maid's chief virtue, silence. So she's gonna be the one that that the Queen will prefer for sure. Let's go with her and see what she says. Yes, she approves. She gives us a white peacock. That's 50 of attractiveness if we put it into the zoo. So let's definitely put it into the zoo. There it is. So we are going to put this white peacock. 50, great. Now she wants a banquet. Oh my, oh my. The dessert course must be extraordinary. What will it be? Is she gonna give us the trifle? Yes, the trifle tower. So here we need to make a decision. Should we go with a sponge cake or fatty tallow? Fatty tallow? Oh my god. No offense, but clearly the sponge cake sounds better. Then should we put a bit of booze, some rum, or some meat? Come on, we're talking about the dessert. Of course it's rum. And lastly, or maybe not lastly, I don't know, is should we put sugar or should we put coffee? I don't actually love the coffee in the tiramisu, so we're gonna go with the sugar. And last but not least, is it jelly or banana? We're not talking about the trifle, right? So it's definitely jelly. Wonderful, everything is assembled and settling into place. Into the ice cellar it goes, and now we wait for a time. Okay, so let's see. The tourist is awed by the splendor of the pudding. It's over, it's done. It's a masterpiece. Some worrying gossip. What? No. There is a target for assassination. No. Who wants to? Assassination of the Queen. That is so bad. Let's see. It's those guys. We need a police station. Sure thing, boss. Let's go. Police station. And now we must gather and find the conspirator. So let's see. We have the Queen. I have nothing against her. Right? This one. The gang of workers. What about the Queen? I'm not saying anything. Well, that's not good. That's not good. You're looking for trouble. He will not betray his comrade. He's looking for trouble. Let's make the worker talk. We can threaten to increase taxation, or we can pay him 10,000 coins. I don't think giving him money is gonna change everything, but if you threaten all of his buddies, that could help. Yes. I'm going to take you to Sir Archibald. Threaten me all you want, but I won't betray. Okay, so let's take him away. Let's take him away. Let's collect him from there. And from my water, we need a ship. Fast one if possible. Okay. Click on it. And we need to take him to Archibald. So we need to go here, Old World, High Clarence. While I'm here, let's buy some bricks. I never have enough brick, you know. We can also check, by the way, don't have anybody. Let's send somebody to her, because this is where you can buy a lot of things for your museum, also for the botanical garden. And it's great to see that now, you know, they show you which one you have and which one you don't. I'm just buying the one though that are part of a collection. The one that are not part of a collection, I don't buy. I don't need them. But yeah, 4 more, send them to the Cape. And while this is happening, we can start the 3rd phase. 60 reinforced concrete, 150 of steel beams, 500 artisans, and 30 minutes. Should be fine. We have all of this. It's just gonna take a bit of time. But yeah, this is getting to the end of our tourists getting pretty much everything they want. Love that. We need to make sure that we keep giving them everything and unlock, you know, 4,000 tourists to unlock the Iron Tower. So Archibald thinks a sympathetic approach. I don't know. I don't know. Let's be tough. We have bricks that are arriving. I need to wait a bit. Walker blew the whistle. Misunderstanding cleared up. A secure ceremony. Oh, that is good. That is good. We're ready. We just need to finish this, right? Delivering all of the resource. And wait a couple of minutes. So I'll see you there. Ladies and gents, a few minutes later, I did build 2 new hotels to make sure that we unlock at 4,000 tourists the Iron Tower. Everything over here is working. We are providing, you know, the fur coat and the souvenirs. I've also improved, you know, my zoo. My zoo is fully green. The museum is almost there, and the botanical garden too. What is limiting for these is if I want, you know, I mean here, yes, I can get 1 more, but especially for the botanical garden and for the zoo is if I want to make a new slot, I need to pay 10 of influence. And we are very low now on influence because we're using quite a lot. This is also linked to the fact that we don't have any engineers yet. Engineers will give us some influence. But anyway, we've basically unlocked it all, right? And so we're ready to finish the Eiffel Tower, or the Iron Tower. And it is. We need to wait for the royal visit to end so we can actually start it. But it is. We have also, with this, jumped to a positive attractiveness. We are at more than 1,500. This was the limit that you needed for attractiveness to be, you know, neutral. And so now we don't have any maluses anymore on all of these, right? So that's great. The queen is on her way, so please come quickly. We need to wait for our arrival, and then we're gonna be able to start it. But yeah, I think this is really cool. We have done everything that was linked, you know, to my tourist. There is still 2 luxury goods that they want, the jewelry and the lemonade, but that requires a lot of investors, so we'll unlock that later. Similarly for some of those hotspots that can give you, you know, happiness and coins. But speaking of coins, look, each of these hotels is giving me right now 7,000 coins, which has led me to now a bonus of plus than 60,000, right? Making tons of money now, and that's really, you know, helping us to be ready for the next stage. In the next episode, I think it's clear it's gonna be time to move to investors. But yeah, let's finish this inauguration with the queen. She's gonna do a royal parade. Let's see, where is that parade? Things happening also in the background, as you can see, not so great. Here's the parade. I don't know why they are going away. They should be coming to the Eiffel Tower. But yeah, we have over here the queen will be coming. She's there. They're taking a picture of her. Let's take a picture of her too. Look at this, magnificent. We need to make sure you can see the queen, I guess. And done. Submitted. Her Majesty dropped onto Crownfall today for the opening of the Iron Tower. Love it. Love it. She's eager to discover the menu at the restaurant because there will be a restaurant inside the tower. So what is the menu? Well, I cannot do this or that, so we don't really have a choice. Sorry, Your Majesty. Here we do have a choice. Don't know what she's gonna... I mean, she's British, right? She must like fish and chips. And then Oh, what? Oh, the trifle tower? No, yes, because we have managed to get the best trifle. The meal was passable, but the dessert extraordinary. So we got a note that we can put in a thing, and we got also the trifle tower restaurant over here. So if we go into the recipe book of the Eiffel Tower, there is again a couple of different recipes, sorry. This one's going to reduce coffee, champagne, and canned food if we want to select it. It does require something we don't have yet, the grapes. So that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I guess she's also going to ask us for clothes. Good thing we have that. So she has a treat for us. Where is it? Let's unveil a surprise. I think I already unveiled it, but that's okay. Because the surprise was the, the thing. She did give us a decorated tower, so if we click over here, we can change the skin, right, from normal to decorated. And definitely, I think it is best to keep it decorated. But here it is, ladies and gents. Now there is also something here where if you want, you can increase the range of the tower. So the idea is probably we want to put it right in the middle of your city. And then as long as you have a lot of tourists, like we have right now, you can have a pretty big circle. It does also, by the way, require access to electricity. So again, another good reason to put it in the center of the city. But in our case right now, we don't even have access to grapes, so we don't really have any way to make that happen. Let's pause it for now. Yes, she wants us to give us, this is to unlock basically more and more recipes. Of course, we will do that in the future. But as I said, I think it's a good end for this episode, which was very focused on those tourists, a bit from start to finish, right? I wanted to show it all to you. I hope you enjoyed that one, so that in the next episode, we can finally move to the investors. Thank you for watching, smash like button, and I hope to see you next time.